Hello and welcome. I am Jess Campmans with Guided by Equus, and this is your Horse Wisdom Energy Forecast for the week of March 16th. Just inviting everyone to take a deep breath and find your way back to your own center. This has been daily and almost hourly a changing world as everything's kind of becoming, the word more rampant, and I guess that might be part of it too. But in this, in the energy of what feels like it's going on right now for us, we are discovering different things. Those things I will touch on in a minute. By being forced to actually recognize what is not only valuable to us, but recognize the space that we're in being forced to actually be confined to our home and our space and our family. And so with that, the word deregulate, and there's another word, and actually it's escaping me right now, so obviously maybe that wasn't the more important one. But that word deregulate, so we're actually, if we find ourselves in fear or in overwhelm or in worry, or just kind of like this entire weekend has just been one shock after the other, and it's actually, it's helping us move into something that has been eluding itself to us for quite some time, but it's like it's reckoning itself with us, and so it's helping us recognize that there are ways of us being in the world that maybe we were missing or ignoring or avoiding, or for whatever reason. You can use any of those words, but it's kind of like a wake-up call right now, waking us up to our own immunity and our own pathway to our presence, to how we are actually living this life. Because if we're just kind of going through the motions, then we're actually not recognizing that there's so much more for us that exists within these moments. And so right now, as each moment, we're kind of waking up to like, well, what's going to happen next? Because we're all left to wonder as our schools shut down, as we're all our extracurricular activities are shutting down. And the only thing that is being offered to us is our own space, and being outdoors, and being involved in our own intimate world within our family and our connections and ourselves, to kind of reestablish, the word trust is coming in, but reestablish an order, a way of organizing our life that actually feels more meaningful, I guess. And it's not that what we were doing wasn't meaningful. It was, because we were finding our meaning within those things that we were doing and that we were involved in. But right now, and these horses are actually moving in a circle, it's like things are coming full circle to come back to us, for us to find a different way to be. And that's the best way that I can express those words. And so actually it comes back to finding that calm and that center of balance within ourselves. And so it will be interesting to see kind of how this all unfolds. And depending on where you are at the moment in the world, you might be facing a lot of challenge and change and feel like you don't even have a ground to stand on. And yet there is this way to find that sense of being grounded within you. Because when you can find that, and when you are grounded in your own connection to your presence, to your knowing, then all of a sudden the world has a way of informing us through that connection to our presence of what is our most supportive next step or direction or thing to do in this moment. And so really this week, just getting into greater connection with yourself in in these moments right now, because what happened yesterday doesn't even really exist anymore today, and what might be happening tomorrow we have no idea of, just like we really never have. And yet right now it's really helping us see that in a way that we can't not face it. So with that in mind, just breathe into your stomach, actually, not your heart, because it's helping us connect to our gut instinct of knowing when to move out of a space or knowing where to move in order to have access to a piece of information that might help us, help inform us of our next step. And so Surf just kind of walked by in front of me and reached out and kind of touched me with his nose, my hand, and it's knowing when to connect and where to connect, and intuitively feeling into what that means for us, so that we can be guided to take a next step or find a new direction. Or if we're being overwhelmed by how many kids are at our home now that we all are having to step into the whole homeschooling program, that it was kind of being forced on us. Or if you don't know what to do with your kids, or if kids, you don't know what to do with yourself because you're bored, because there's no routine anymore with having to go to school. There's this place inside of us that actually has all the answers for us. And this is what the pathway of horse wisdom is tapping into that inspired connection within us to tune into our imagination and our intuitive reality, I will call it, to be inspired to go and do something, go and take action on something. But first we have to deregulate all of our emotions to find our center and connect to that place of center and calm within us, so that we can tap into that inspiration within. And so for this week, just taking a breath and taking a step back from everything, and finding your center and your presence and your place of balance, because right now there is a lot that is out of balance. And the more you can find your presence, the more you actually can inspire your immune system as well. Because if we are so aroused by all the emotions that are going on within and around us, then our nervous system can't release and go into relaxation, and we actually can't tap into that wisdom and that inspiration within us. And so it's really finding your sense of calm and centeredness and balance within each moment where you feel like you're activated, so that you actually then can take inspired action to what will be most supportive during these times. And along with this, it has kind of come to me, this has been a work in progress for me for much of the last few years, but through doing these videos, I've realized that I can share this equine guided learning space in a virtual way. So it came to me to create a space for us to connect through a virtual gathering, where we can still be at home in the comfort of our home, and I get to share that space with you through this online virtual space that we all have connection to. And so it will be a once a weekly gathering through a monthly subscription, and we will gather once a week, where you can email me with your questions or your concerns or your comments, and along with answering those, both individually and collectively, because often what one of us is part of, we are all part of, because we're all in this together. And so by answering those questions and by tapping into the horse wisdom that is informing us for that week, it's kind of like a guided learning in a virtual space, supported through the wisdom of the horses. And so if you are listening to this video, there will be a link to this. It's called the HorseWisdom Pathways Program, and it is my invitation to support and guide and share with you this way of accessing this equine guided and assisted learning to help you be able to navigate your own path right now in this moment, to help build a foundation for your future. So again, check out the link below this video, wherever you find this video, and you can learn more about the HorseWisdom Pathways Program. And much love to you guys. And just take one more deep breath and allow your entire system to deregulate itself and move into relaxation and digestion mode, so you can find your calm and your centeredness and ground into your own inspired connection. So I look forward to connecting with you next week, and much love from myself and the herd.